After the Civil War, the United States entered a period of explosive industrial growth, what historians often call the Second Industrial Revolution. It was a time of invention, expansion, and transformation that would shape not just America, but the entire world. In today's video, we're going to examine the driving forces behind that industrial boom and how it launched the United States onto the global economic stage. Let's get started. New innovations and energy sources revolutionized how goods were produced. Steam engines replaced water power, freeing factories from rivers and allowing them to operate anywhere in the country. At the same time, kerosene replaced well oil, providing a more efficient and accessible source of light and fuel. These changes supercharged industrial production, making factories faster, cheaper, and more productive than ever before. But powering machines wasn't enough. You also needed people. Following the Civil War, the United States saw a dramatic increase in both internal and international migration. Millions of Americans moved from farms to cities, while immigrants poured in from Europe and Asia. They brought their labor, dreams, and sweat, fueling the factories with cheap and abundant manpower. Without this workforce, the rapid industrial growth simply would not have been possible. Now, what role did the government play in all this? The answer might surprise you. While we often hear that the United States followed a laissez-faire or hands-off approach, the truth is a bit more nuanced. The federal government did directly invest in key industries, most notably the railroads, pouring land grants and money into their development. But when it came to giants like oil and steel, the government stepped back, hoping that the states would manage things while production soared. In practice, this meant minimal regulation and massive corporate power. With goods being produced faster and cheaper, companies turned to mass marketing to move their products. Brand names became household staples. Singer for sewing machines, Kellogg's for cornflakes. Advertising evolved too. Companies used eye-catching billboards, electric signs, and colorful print ads to capture the attention of a growing consumer base. For the first time, marketing wasn't just about selling a product, it was about building a brand. But perhaps nothing defined this era more than the rise of monopolies and trusts. Titans of industry like Andrew Carnegie and John D. Rockefeller built empires through smart and sometimes ruthless business strategies. Carnegie used a method called vertical integration. He didn't just own the steel mill, he bought up the mines, the railroads, and the distribution networks. From raw iron ore to finished beams, every step of the process was under his control. This cut costs and maximized profits. Rockefeller, on the other hand, mastered horizontal integration, buying out other oil refineries until he controlled 95% of the U.S. oil industry. This created a near monopoly. But Rockefeller didn't stop there. To tighten his grip, he turned to the trust. Here's how it worked. Stockholders from various companies gave up their shares in exchange for trust certificates. These companies were now governed by a single board of trustees, Rockefeller's board. The result? A centralized empire that pushed out competitors and concentrated power into fewer and fewer hands. As America's industrial might grew, businesses looked beyond U.S. borders. They wanted access to new markets and natural resources, especially in the Pacific Rim, Asia, and Latin America. Rockefeller invested heavily in Mexican oil fields. Companies like Singer established offices and factories overseas, transforming into global brands. The world was becoming more connected, and American businesses wanted a piece of that action. When the Panic of 1893 struck, many blamed overproduction. With warehouses full of unsold goods and falling prices, the pressure to find new markets became urgent. That economic crisis pushed both businessmen and the U.S. government to expand outward, setting the stage for the age of imperialism. But that story is for another episode. The industrial age in America was a complex and powerful engine of change, fueled by innovation, immigration, marketing, and unchecked corporate growth. It reshaped the nation's economy and its role in the world. From oil fields in Mexico to sewing machines in Shanghai, American industry was just getting started. But that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time.